And and it was just, it was a blessing.
All right. So the next thing is like probably the one that maybe people like Sandrine cared about the most. You were in office for like all this time. What have you learned? Well, I'm curious about one part. What have you like learned from this experience that you would do differently the next time you got in? As I believe what her question was.
Yeah. Oh, good question. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Um, it's uncommon in politics to admit that we can do things differently or do things better. Like that's not something that politicians really do very often. Um, I think, am I wrong? Like I don't know. I feel like there's this unwillingness to admit that we can do better in very specific and concrete ways. There's like a general kind of, yeah, we must do better, but without taking any personal responsibility for it. And I think I'll be the first to admit, like, yeah, there's tons of stuff that I can do better. There are things that I really want to improve on. I think one of them, a big thing in terms of like really affecting change and making change happen, something that I tried doing a lot this mandate was that I would often ask our borough employees to kind of like try doing things differently in like very isolated, like standalone settings. I'd say, oh, let's experiment with this. Let's try to do this a little bit differently there. And I realize now that, what, that's just not the way the machine works. That doesn't work. It's going to be a lot of effort for very, very little gain. If you want things to change and to be done differently, you need to change the way the machine works. And that happens through policy. And, there are policy geeks that get involved in politics, but most people don't really do that. They're not into it. That's not what people like to hear about. So I think in my second term, I want to focus much more on actually making some real changes to the machine. Because another one of my takeaways is that there is so much, especially at a local level, that we are not doing well. And this is not, it shouldn't be a political thing. It shouldn't be a political problem. We got a lot of hardworking people at the borough and at the city. We've got a lot of people that mean well, a lot of people that love the city as much as I do. But the system is fucked up. System is broken in so many ways. And I think they need someone to kind of guide them along and to make it clear, like, okay, we're going to fix this. We're going to do it together and it's going to be uncomfortable, but I'm willing to work with you as long as we can all recognize that, there are problems that we're not solving. Like you call up 311, right? It's like the city is like complaint, one-stop shop. If you have a problem, if you need information, it takes forever for things to get done when you call 311. Even when I put in requests, I'm the damn counselor and it takes months and months and months to do in some cases. So, everyone at the city, like they talk about these big ideas and, oh, we need, this big project and we need this new thing. And you know how politicians just love new things because it means ribbon cutting ceremonies and photo ops. But we're not focused on making sure that what we have is actually working. Like there's so much that doesn't work well. Like you go into the parks in our neighborhood and so often they're a mess or the grass isn't even cut. You got facilities, man, for like a month at the beginning of summer, a month, not a weekend went by that I didn't get a text or a call from someone in a park saying, I'm here with my kid. My kid needs to go to the bathroom and the toilets are locked. The toilets are closed. What am I supposed to do? Carry my kid into a bush? There's so much. We get so carried away in the big ideas and the politics of it. And I've seen this more clearly since I became an independent, that we forget how important it is just to make sure that we're getting the basics right. And And I feel like that might resonate with Sandrine because I know that she's been upset. She's been upset with how little love we've given to Sherbrooke Street. Sherbrooke Street's really dirty a lot of the time, you know? Same thing with Summerled. We feel like a lot of people feel like Monkland gets all the attention. It's the same
Well,
thing for our parks. A
Loyola
lot of
Park
people,
got a dog park, but nobody can pick up the garbage. Say a word,
yeah,
right?
that would, yeah. Don't even get
Hold
me
up.
started
A
on that
dog
dog park.
park
Oh my god.
3 blocks from a dog park.
Well, the idea was it would be a bigger and better one, and we'd get rid of the old one.
That
The old
that
one's
old one is like my
small, and
childhood dog park. I know that's a ridiculous argument.
actually, that one was one of the first ones in all of Montreal.
Like
But now it's
like
like
when I was a kid, that's where we
it's
brought the dog.
you know
You know, that's what it
there
was.
you go,
But
there you
like
go.
I just
But
saw
we need like we got way more dogs. We need a bigger dog park.
but we watched them
And
build this
these
thing.
people,
Why is it full of concrete? Like, why is the dog park just
man,
concrete? Like, that was so confusing. Is it a skate park? Is it a dog? That's what I was looking like. This looks like a skate park. And then, like, yeah, doesn't like cement bad for dog feet? Like, I don't know. I'm asking legit questions.
there is no acceptable or good answer to that question. I was there before they put in that gravel stuff. I was there with the people designing it. I was there with dog owners. Dog owners were saying, "We're worried. We want to talk to you." I'm like, "All right, here are the guys designing it." You know, you want to talk about ways in which the system is broken? We had concerned citizens, we had the local councillor, and we had two civil servants that I've worked with for almost 4 years now, and I know they're good people, and they were just trying to do their jobs. But they didn't listen. They didn't listen to what people were saying. They're saying, "Don't worry, this isn't the first time we've done this. We've done plenty of dog parks now. It's going to be okay."
Yo,
The residents were saying, "Nah, not sure about that, but we'll give you guys a shot." And then they came out with this, and it's a mess. It's ridiculous. It's one of the biggest frustrations I've had in 4 years. We were literally there, and you had dog owners telling you, "This is what we want, this is what we need," and they didn't do it.
yeah, that
So
was
when I
weird.
say that the system is broken, that pisses me off. That's a waste of money. That's a waste of everyone's time and energy, and it makes people feel like they can't trust the city to do good things. You know?
Yeah, it comes off kind of like that's weird. I don't know what happened there. And then, whereas I'll give full credit, the basketball court at Coffee Park, big props. That actually makes a lot of sense. It's kind of litty. Big ups there.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Good or bad?
I'm hoping we could do like a dunk contest or something just to inaugurate it. You
Yeah,
know?
that one was a pretty cool project, just to give like love that something good happened. Because I was confused by
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You know, we don't do everything wrong, right? Like I was saying before, sometimes you gotta go looking for the good, but we do a lot of good.
I
We give a lot of help to community groups and the community at large. You know, like there's a lot of good people doing a lot of good work, but there's still many ways in which we get the basic stuff wrong. You know, like the dog park, great example. These people have been pushing for a dog park, been saying exactly what they want for like years now, and the machine did not listen to them. That drives me crazy.
and then if you
That makes me
fix
feel
the
like we're
dog
not getting the
part, it
basics.
wastes money, which goes Montreal go, yo, bro, you wasted your budget. Blah blah blue blee makes life even harder at the other levels. I could see.
It does. We're already having trouble with that. That's why I left. That's why I left my party in December, because we're not getting a fair deal and enough money from the city center budget as it is. But we got to get things right locally. If we screw things up locally, it's exactly as you said. You know what? People downtown told me that when I asked them, "Why aren't you sending us more money?" I said, "Well, you're not doing a good job with the money that we do send you." So, you know, there's responsibility on both sides there. We've got to do well with what we have, but
Mm.
you know, I think we also need more. Like we're really ripped off, but we need to do things properly with what we have. And the dog park's an example of not doing that. Basketball court, great example of getting it right. I think like that's going to be great for West Haven. It's going to be great for the neighborhood. Um, but like, you know, we got to show people that we get it right more often. We got to make life a little bit easier for folks. We got to make sure that things run on time, you know, that things get fixed.
That's fair. Why did you break off from the party? Like, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. Yeah. Big decision that I took in December of last year, because it's usually in December that we vote on the city budget. City budget is, like a massive. I've got it here somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. There we go. This is city budget right here. Nice big thick bastard. And this is the other one. This is capital budget. This is all the projects that we have that we pay for. This $2 billion a year, give or take. And this thing, our operating budget, $6.5 billion. So we throw a lot of money around, you know. And basically, what people have been saying for a long time now is that Côte-Neige NDG gets ripped off. We don't get enough money. We're the largest borough in the entire city by a long shot, way bigger than anyone else. We've got a huge population, large territory, lots of institutions, lots of needs. And we don't get enough money to actually respond to those needs. So, 4 years ago, Projet, and I was part of that team, we ran on getting NDG a better deal, getting more money so that we can, we can put up more basketball courts and a few more dog runs. And, we could do a better job of keeping the parks clean and helping our community groups. And in 3 years, downtown wasn't willing to make that happen. And so as I started learning more about the budget, learning more about how the city works, I started asking more and more difficult questions, and I was not getting acceptable answers. And so when the time came to vote on the administration's last budget, I said no. I said, we ran on this, we made a promise. By not fulfilling that promise, we've essentially broken it. This is the last opportunity that we have. It's the last budget before the next elections. So if you're not going to keep the promise, I'm not going to defend a party that's ripping off my neighborhood. Like, Projet stands for some wonderful things, great principles, great vision for what the city can be, but you need to support local neighborhoods. And if they weren't willing to do that, then I wasn't willing to vote for the budget.
I respect
So
that.
that's it in a nutshell.
I ask a serious question then. Let's say you get elected. Not to say you're not going to, but I can't be super definitive.
I'll get elected.
But you get elected again and you're back in. Does that make your life astronomically harder to create change on a real?
I don't think so. I think it's a different way of working. It also depends on who else gets elected, right? I might be in a good position to negotiate more for the neighborhood. And either way, you can work as an independent. A lot of stuff that needs to get done needs to be done locally, and it gets done regardless of whether you're with the party in power or not. We had an independent city councillor who's finishing his 10th mandate, and he presented more motions and nudged things along in different ways than just about anyone else I know at council. So there are different ways of working. That's and fair. Different ways of pushing an agenda and forcing those people in power to actually listen. Earlier we were talking about the petitions, right? Get some petitions going. Hold some low cost public consultations. Get the word out. Get people involved and mobilized. You can do that as an independent. It's a different way of working. It can be tougher. You don't have the party structure to give you support, but when you want to push something, you push it. And being a councillor gives you that opportunity. So will it be harder in some ways? Yeah. I think it'll also be easier in some ways. I get to call it like I see it. I don't have a party line. I don't have anyone calling me up anymore from the mayor's office saying, we know you want to talk about this, but we'd really rather you didn't. That's a really crappy way to have to work. I want to call it like I see it.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it could be fun.
I think it's a huge challenge. I'm into your answer. That was a good one.